What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Thursday, November 2nd, 2023, and I have another emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now, it is 10:54 p.m. Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming from the Middle East. So, apparently, Hezbollah and Iran have informed the United States that the US and Israel have until Friday, which is tomorrow, to end the aggression against Gaza. Otherwise, Iran and Hezbollah are going to enter into a direct war with Israel and the United States. And they're also going to have the entire resistance axis join in. So the resistance axis would be the Houthi rebels, the Iranian proxies in Syria and Iraq, Hezbollah, um, Iran itself, and all these other jihadist groups. Okay, and this information is coming from the editor in chief of the London Rai Al Yum newspaper, and this was stated by a journalist by the name of Abd al Bari Atwan, and apparently he has some sources inside of Iran that told him that basically Hezbollah and Iran informed the U.S. that they have a deadline until Friday, which is before the leader of Hezbollah is going to be giving his speech to end the aggression against Gaza. Otherwise, it would mean entering into a direct war with the entire resistance axis. Okay. So something could pop off tomorrow, guys. Okay. We also have some concerning information coming from various Iranian Telegram channels saying that Iran has put their missile, rocket, and drone bases. And we also have some concerning information coming from Iranian Telegram channels, and they're saying that Iran and the resistance axis has put their missile, rocket, and drone bases on full alert. Okay. And also, CIA sources are reporting that several Iranian proxies are preparing for a full scale war against Israel. Okay, so things are about to escalate. I think tomorrow might be the day that things pop off. We're going to have the leader of Hezbollah making a speech tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. So many people think he's going to declare war on Israel. And what you're looking at here are three Russian military transport planes. These are the Ilyushin 76 TD planes. These are used by the Russian Ministry for Emergency Situations. And right now they're flying towards Turkey and Syria. My guess is they're going to be going to Syria to reinforce Syria and provide some weapons potentially for the Syrian regime and for maybe even Hezbollah and the Iranian proxies that are about to go to war with the U.S. So this is very, very strange, guys, to have these three Russian Ministry for Emergency Situations planes going down into the Middle East in the middle of the night, right before Hezbollah's leader is going to make that big speech. Okay. So I think something's going to pop off tomorrow. And when it does, you can count on me to go live to cover the situation. But I really think that we're just hours, if not days away from things really popping off in the Middle East, which is going to have a domino effect around the world. I'm really concerned about the Baltics getting invaded by Russia. I'm concerned about South Korea getting attacked by North Korea. And I'm concerned that China might try to do something. So, very concerning. Here we have two U.S. nuclear war command and control planes that were airborne tonight. One was off of the New England coast, and one was flying over the Intermountain West. So, our nuclear forces are still on high alert. And earlier today, if you missed my update, you should go back and watch it. But earlier today, we had a B-2 stealth bomber flying over southern New York in the Hudson Valley region. That's where I used to live before I moved to PA. And I've never seen a stealth bomber in the Hudson Valley the whole time I lived there, which was most of my life. I never saw a stealth bomber ever fly over. It's a really weird place for a stealth bomber to be because there's no bomber bases in the Northeast or anywhere along the East Coast. They're in the middle of the country for good reason. They want to have as much distance away from the coasts. So to have one flying over the Hudson Valley of New York is extremely rare and very unusual. And when you consider the timing of that, uh, it happened at the same time as a presidential doomsday plane was airborne in Illinois, and it turned its transponder off after getting midair refueling. And at the same time, we also had two B-52 nuclear bombers flying over the U.S. One was over Nebraska, one was over Arkansas. Also, one of my subscribers and a friend of mine lives close to Raven Rock in Pennsylvania, which is the bunker for the Pentagon. That's where the Pentagon would go during a nuclear war. That's the alternate military command center. It's the secondary Pentagon, and that's where the Pentagon would wage nuclear war from Raven Rock. It's a bunker under a mountain close to Camp David. And my friend who lives near Raven Rock saw Black Hawks flying over Raven Rock today, okay, or flying towards Raven Rock, which is very rare. So B-2 stealth bomber over the Hudson Valley of New York. Black Hawk helicopters flying towards Raven Rock. Doomsday plane shuts its transponder off over western Illinois. Two B-52 nuclear bombers, and also VIP planes going to Colorado Springs, which is where Cheyenne Mountain is. Okay, all these things happening in the same time frame. That was like midday today. Okay, so something's going on, guys, and now Russia's sending their ministry for emergency situations down into the Middle East. Looks like it's going to be Syria as the destination for these three planes here. Okay, they never deploy these planes unless something serious is going on. The last time they deployed these planes was when Azerbaijan attacked Armenia, and that whole situation was going on over there. And they sent in some of these planes to evacuate the Russian peacekeepers that were in Armenia. So this is extremely rare, okay? Extremely rare to have three of these in the air at the same time and all going to the Middle East. Something is about to go down, guys. I'm telling you, maybe they're getting their people out of Syria. Maybe they're bringing in weapons. I have no idea, but this is very, very rare. And again, the leader of Hezbollah is going to be giving a speech in the morning. And apparently, Iran has already warned the U.S. that they're going to start to retaliate. So I want to catch you up with some of the other news from the Middle East. And here we have a picture of the B-1 nuclear bombers that are in Turkey right now. This is a recent picture. I think it was taken today or yesterday. So they're still in Turkey, guys. Okay, they're still there. They're not going anywhere. So what does that mean? That means that they're hanging out at this base until they get the orders to launch a strike on Iran or other enemies in the Middle East. And this particular base that these B-1s are sitting at has about 60 or 75 of the U.S. B-61 nuclear gravity bombs. Okay, this base is part of the NATO nuclear sharing program. So NATO has 6 bases across Europe that have American B-61 gravity nuclear bombs, and this base where these B-1s happen to be sitting have those B-61s. Okay, it's a nuclear base. All right, so all they would have to do is load up these planes and send them out. In fact, they could already be loaded and basically just on standby so they can go at a moment's notice and strike bunkers in Iran. With, the B-61 is a very devastating weapon. It's also a strategic weapon, not only tactical. Okay, because some of the mods of the B-61 have a very high blast yield, over 340 kilotons, so they can devastate any kind of bunker that Iran has. And that's what they would need to do. They would need to use those earth penetrating warheads with a high blast yield so they can transmit the shock waves down through the earth into the subterranean bunker and destroy the bunker. Okay, because Iran has lots and lots of bunkers. Iran is almost the size of Alaska, and it's full of mountains, so there's tons of places for missiles to be hidden and nuclear weapons to be stored. So striking Iran would be a major undertaking. And last night, in the middle of the night, the U.S. House of Representatives passed a resolution 350 to 53 in favor of a resolution that basically would allow the U.S. and U.S. allies, including Israel, to use any means necessary to prevent Iran from getting nuclear weapons. And the resolution clearly states that the U.S. will not accept Iran to become a nuclear armed country, and that the U.S. will do whatever it takes, any means necessary, to prevent that from happening. Okay, so they're clearly saying we will not allow Iran to be a nuclear armed country, and we will do whatever it takes to prevent that. Okay, and they also say that it would allow Israel and American allies to take the same actions as the U.S. would take, any means necessary to prevent that from happening. So you see where this is going, guys. This is not about Hamas. Okay, this is about Iran, because Iran is the head of the snake. Iran is the one that's feeding all these terrorist groups in the Middle East. Okay, so here we have a picture that was posted by the Iranian government showing some missiles. Okay, this is like a propaganda picture here. And here we have a video that was released by the Hezbollah, and it's like a teaser for the speech tomorrow. And what's concerning about this video is it shows what appears to be some kind of like missile launch button being pressed. So I'll play it for you in the background while I read off the news. But here's Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah, his hands. And you can see this control room here where it appears to be like a missile control room. And you'll see towards the end of the video, they're pushing buttons, and one of the buttons says launch. So, I don't know what they're trying to show here, but you see these buttons, and you'll see in a little bit here, there'll be like a launch button. You see right there, launch and cancel. You see that? So I don't know what they're trying to signal to us here in the West with this video and with this speech, but it's pretty concerning, guys. Okay, so let me read to you some of the latest headlines here. Israeli army units have completely surrounded Gaza City. The connection between the north and south in Gaza has been completely split. So North Gaza and South Gaza are now completely split. The Israeli military has crossed all the way to the Mediterranean, and the northern part of Gaza is now under control by the Israeli military. They've surrounded Gaza City, and earlier today we heard reports that there's already battles going on in the outskirts of Gaza City. We have some breaking news that a new drone attack on the U.S. military base near Erbil has occurred tonight in Iraq. And we also have some breaking news coming from the commander of the Lebanese armed forces. And he said that it is better for Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah, not to give his speech tomorrow and to stay away from his propaganda films. Looks like the Lebanese armed forces are against Nasrallah and against Hezbollah. And here's a video showing the preparations underway for Nasrallah's speech. You can see all these chairs here. This is in Beirut. So looks like a big crowd is going to be there. The Algerian parliament has given the president of Algeria the authority to go to war with Israel. And that's very concerning because the Bible says that a lot of North African countries will attack Israel in the latter days during the Ezekiel 38 and 39 war, the Magog invasion of Israel, which is basically a coalition of nations led by Russia. And it's going to be Russia in charge of this coalition. And a lot of the Middle Eastern Muslim countries and North African Muslim countries are going to join with Russia and also join with the kings of the East, which could be North Korea and China. And they're going to form a massive military with, like, I think 200 million men. And they're going to try to attack Israel. And God is going to destroy the armies before they actually enter Israel. An armed Shiite group belonging to the Islamic resistance movement in Iraq fired missiles at a U.S. military base in al-Shaddadi in the south of Syria's Hasaka province. So looks like two more bases being targeted tonight. So the total number's got to be at least like 50 U.S. bases that have been, or 50 attacks on U.S. bases in Iraq and Syria in the last 3 weeks. And it could be a lot more than that. We're just not being told the truth, okay? The U.S. military and the U.S. government doesn't tell you everything that's going on, okay? So, if they're saying 50, I mean, you could easily double or triple that number, okay? An IDF spokesman said that the pro-Iranian militia Al-Imam al-Hussein Brigade, established in Syria to help the Iranian Axis, has come to help Hezbollah in Lebanon after their series of failures on the border in recent weeks. And significant preparations have been ongoing today and tonight for the live speech of the leader of Hezbollah, Nasrallah. And in Washington, D.C., the National Security Council spokesman John Kirby said, "We will be waiting for Nasrallah's speech tomorrow, and our message to him and to every other side is that they should not expand the conflict." Okay, so he's warning Nasrallah again. He said the same thing a few days ago. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin said multiple times for Hezbollah not to get involved. He's warned them. Biden's warned them. I mean, multiple warnings. Okay, and the thing with Hezbollah is they're a lot more powerful than Hamas, and Iran is backing them up. And so, if we do have to strike Hezbollah, it's going to be a massive strike. That's why we have 2 aircraft carrier strike groups in the region now. Okay, we're talking massive amounts of ordnance. Okay, Palestinian media is saying that the Israeli Defense Forces have launched an assault in Jenin in the West Bank. And Israel's chief of staff warned Nasrallah ahead of his speech, "We are ready to attack in other arenas. I do not recommend that our enemies join the fighting. We are fighting in the name of the sanctity of life against an enemy who has engraved death and destruction on his flag. We are fighting for our right and that of future generations to live here safely and prosper in our homeland. This is our home. We have no other country." Okay, so that's what the Israeli chief of staff said, warning Nasrallah, and then basically also saying, this is our home and we have no other country, so we're going to fight to the end. And remember, Israel has the Samson option, and the Samson option is basically if Israel gets overwhelmed and surrounded and they're losing, then they can use their nuclear weapons and retaliate at all of their enemies. And Israel has hundreds of missiles, Jericho missiles, and they have hundreds of warheads. They just don't talk about it, and they don't share publicly what their capabilities are. The Israeli Defense Forces have deployed additional military units in the northern part of Israel in anticipation of the Lebanese Hezbollah leader declaring war on Israel. We have Major General Jacob Amidror of the Israeli army saying the Israeli army is ready to go after Hezbollah. Our target amount in Lebanon is 100 times larger than the target amount in Gaza and consists entirely of legitimate military targets that will harm Hezbollah. We are ready for the battlefield. So there's a lot of people in Israel that want the Israeli military to go after Hezbollah after they take care of Hamas, which is what I think is going to happen. The thing is Hezbollah is much more advanced. They have a bigger force, and also they have a larger urban area to hide in. So that would be a massive aerial bombardment and urban warfare, much, much more so than Gaza. And I think that we're going to see it, guys. I think it's going to escalate. And for those of you guys who don't know, I stand with Israel. I'm a big supporter of Israel. You know, as a Christian, I see the Jews as brotherly people. Okay, they're God's chosen people, and Israel is the holy land. So I stand with Israel, guys. Okay. And the leader of the Houthi rebels in Yemen said, "We received American threats through an Omani mediator against any intervention in the war in Gaza." So it looks like the Houthis have officially been warned not to intervene. Guys, the U.S. could annihilate the Houthi rebels and all of Yemen if they wanted to. They could annihilate Hezbollah and all of Lebanon if they wanted to. I mean, the U.S. is really going easy right now. Okay, they could really annihilate those two threats right there if they wanted to. And a lot of people, you know, they laugh at America. They think that, you know, our military is not that good anymore. Just wait till you piss us off, okay? The US is armed to the teeth, and you know, we have the best military in the world, and if you push us too far, you're going to see what we're capable of, okay? And you're not going to like it either. The Syrian army transfers special battalions from the Republican Guard to the Golan Heights on the border with Israel. So Syria is moving their special forces to the border of Israel right now, the Syrian army. And the French have sent an amphibious assault ship to the eastern Mediterranean. So here's a picture of that one. This is the Dixmude landing ship. So it has multiple helicopter landing pads, and it can also be used to carry troops and some equipment for amphibious landing operations, guys. So you see that there's a lot of these amphibious landing ships in the theater. We have three or actually two U.S. amphibious assault ships in the Red Sea. Now we have a French one. Okay. So they're preparing for some kind of a ground invasion. NATO may send troops into Lebanon. I mean, it's very suspicious, all these amphibious assault ships. It looks like they might try to go after Lebanon or some other country, and then two aircraft carrier strike groups. The South Korean military has detected signs from multiple sources indicating that North Korean arms shipments to Russia include short-range ballistic missiles. We are monitoring the possible transfer of short-range missiles by train and plane, since this type of transportation is considered realistic, a military official told the Korea Herald. We are closely monitoring the situation, and we are detecting signs of development. According to the Army's assessment, the North Koreans may transfer KN-23 missiles, which have a range of up to 700 kilometers, and KN-24 missiles, which have a range of 410 kilometers. And they're also monitoring the KN-25 heavy artillery system. All right, so it looks like North Korea is going to be sending some short-range missiles to Russia, because we know Russia depleted a lot of their missiles. So that's pretty much the latest information that I have, guys. Just make sure you're getting prepared. These are some crazy times that we're living in. So do the best you can. That's all you can do, and give God the rest. And I will be back tomorrow morning or tomorrow during the day with another update. And if things do get crazy, I will go live 24/7. All right. And for those of you guys out there who think that I don't know what I'm talking about and that I'm the boy who cried wolf, uh, I've been monitoring world events for years on this channel. Okay. I was one of the first people on YouTube to warn my subscribers that lockdowns were coming. Okay. And I had to take down a lot of those videos from, the pandemic, but I knew the lockdowns were coming weeks or months before they started. And I was telling people lockdowns are coming. Okay. Stock up, get home gym equipment because everything's going to get shut down. Everybody said, "Oh, you're a fear monger. You know, that's normal. Nothing's going to happen. Don't worry about it." And sure enough, I was right. Okay. Fast forward, a year or two later, and I was warning people that Russia's going to invade Ukraine. Okay. I was showing you guys the videos of the Russian troops piling up on the border. And everybody was telling me, you're fear mongering. Nothing's going to happen. Russia wouldn't actually invade Ukraine. And they did. Okay. And now I'm telling you that we're about to see some kind of major historic event take place in the Middle East. What that is, I'm not sure quite yet. Does that mean the U.S. is going to strike Iran? Does it mean that we're going to strike Lebanon or Yemen or Syria? I have no idea, but you can see the buildup in the region. Okay, we haven't seen this many naval assets deployed to the Mediterranean Sea since 1945, since World War II, guys. So they're not moving all that stuff there for no reason, okay? And I'm here to tell you that something big is about to go down and it could have a domino effect. We could see Russia try to take advantage of it and attack the Baltics. We could see North Korea take advantage of it and attack South Korea. We could see Taiwan get attacked by China. It could all be one big plan, guys. Okay, it could be Russia, China, Iran, Turkey, all these countries that hate America and hate Israel. They all came together, and this is all just one big plan. And they're going to start like a multi front world war. So get prepared, guys. I will update you in the morning with what happens with the speech. And if anything serious happens, like I said, I will go live. But other than that, make sure you're subscribed. Hit the bell icon so you get notified when I post these emergency alerts and when I do go live. Take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.